It is graduation season, exciting stuff, and one of Hawaii's own was actually chosen to give the keynote address at a pretty notable commencement ceremony.
Kealoha Wong, a well-known Native Hawaiian poet, will be addressing graduates at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, the first in-person ceremony since the pandemic began. Malika is back. She has more on this amazing graduate.
It's pretty cool to be speaking at MIT, and this is well-deserved. Hawaii's premier slam poet is a nuclear engineering major who graduated with honors from MIT, and get this, he was Hawaii's very first poet laureate. Let's start out by answering the question on everyone's mind. Kealoha, what is a poet laureate?
Cool. So a poet laureate is a government appointed sort of position of poet, of writer, of, it's kind of like you've heard of laurels, right? So laurels are kind of like a decorative sort of acknowledgement of, your accomplishments. So a poet laureate is someone who is tasked with the duty to bring poetry to the people, to share the words, to organize events where people can celebrate the poetry, things like that.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Thank you. So take us back to that time when you were named Hawaii's first.
So that was 2012 by Governor Neil Abercrombie. At that point in 2012, like for about a decade, I was already doing those types of things. I was already hosting poetry events. I was touring around the islands and abroad internationally to share poetry. So he saw it fitting to name me the poet laureate of Hawaii. The tradition has continued, and we're now starting to investigate new poet laureates, which is awesome.
What an honor. I mean, and very fitting. I remember you on the club scene, even sharing poetry, making poetry cool. So fast forward, and you are now being asked to speak at commencement at your alma mater. How did it come about? What does this mean to you?
The president of MIT sent an email to me, and I was like, oh, so this is probably a joke or a hoax or whatever. I'm like, when would the president of MIT ever email me, right? Unless it was some kind of mass emailing. But then I read it, and he was saying, like, we want you to come back and do this commencement speech. And at first I was like, I don't know if I have anything to say. I don't know if I've done anything significant enough to merit this honor. But the more that I thought about it, I realized, what, I do have some wisdom to share with these students, and it's a huge honor. I mean, I never would have thought in a million years that something like this would happen. I feel as if I'm ready to let these words fly.
Well, it is. It's a really big deal. Is there a way for people in Hawaii to support you, to watch the commencement address live or recorded?
I have gone through the YouTube archives of past speeches that they do post over the past number of years. They've had like Matt Damon and Tim Cook. And I know when I was graduating, they had Bill Clinton, the sitting president. So it's kind of like they post it. So we'll be able to watch it at some point.
Kealoha, chicken skin everywhere. Now you are part of that list. Thank you so much for the chat, and take care.
Shoots. Thank you so much, Malika.
Best of luck to him. And the keynote delivery is actually next weekend, so we'll have details on our website at kitv.com. And Tom, he finally answered your question. What is a poet laureate?
I know, the more we know, I mean, it's good for the current poet laureate to know what a poet laureate is too. So, but that's really cool though. I feel like, especially being a nuclear engineer, wow, it's like most people are either left-brained or right-brained, but to be able to do poetry too, but man of many talents, for sure.
The slam samanao on these MIT graduates right there. Thank you, Malika.
All right, we're off for a break. Time now is 7:28. You're watching Good Morning Hawaii.